Welcome back, everyone. So in this video, we are going to finish off our cart dropdown. A lot of the complexity of the actual cart maintenance has been achieved through our cart context. Now though, let's finish off the actual cart items. So as you can guess, I've already, of course, styled out the cart item for you. So what you need to do though, is you need to fill in with the appropriate HTML structure. So here, what we need to do is we need to think about what gets added into the cart. We know there's name, we know there's quantity, but we also know there's an image, and we also need to know what the quantity is multiplied by the price of the item. So at this top level, I'm just going to say that this div is of the class name cart item container. So this is our parent. Then inside, I'm going to have an image. And this image is going to be of the image URL coming from the cart item. So all of those fields that we had before, the name, the image URL, the price, the quantity, I want all of these. And the source is going to be the image URL. So this is very similar to our product card. And the alt text is also going to be the name. So here inside, I also now need a separate div that will contain all of our item details. So here, when you think about this structure, where inside you have this quantity, when you look at the actual component, notice that this image and this section are two separate sections, but these details are kind of grouped together. That's why I want to wrap these in another div. And this div I'm going to call the item details. And then inside, I'm going to have a span. And this span will show the name. And the class name for this will just be name. Similarly, this span is already written, which will be the price. And it will contain the quantity multiplied by dollar price. And this is it. This is the entire component. Now inside of your cart item styles, just copy paste in the cart item style sheet that I provided in your resources folder. Now once you've saved this, now go into your application and you should see that right here we have everything that we wanted to see from what we had finally. So here, if I add more, there is another item. So our cart is looking pretty good. It's pretty much exactly what we have inside of our final application. There is one feature we are missing left, and that is the count inside of the cart icon. I want you to try and figure out, using all the things we learned, how to build in that count. So pause the video and try it out yourself. You're essentially accumulating all of the quantities, storing it somewhere inside of the cart context, and then utilizing it. So try it out yourself, and then when you're ready, unpause the video and let's do it together. So let's build into our application the count ability. So here, let's go into our cart context. Inside of our cart context, we already have all the cart items that has the quantity on them. What we want to be able to do is that whenever cart items changes, we want to be able to show a new cart count. So I'm going to make a new property called cart count that by default starts at 0. Then what I want to do is I want to make a new cart count and set cart count state using useState, which by default causes 0. Then what I want to do is I'm going to use the useEffect hook, because essentially what we're doing is we are recounting the total quantity every time the cart items changes. There's more ways to do this. This is just one particular way. You can also expose a function that will always reduce the cart items. But this way, I think, is just a way that we can think about using useEffect and highlight some of these changes that we can make like so. So remember, with useEffect, we pass it a callback, and this callback runs every time something in your dependency array changes. So for us, I want to change the cart items. Every time this cart items array changes in any way, we need to recalculate the cart count. So here I'm going to say new cart count is equal to cart items dot reduce. So I'm reducing over the cart items. And reduce is going to take two arguments. The first argument here is the callback. The second argument is the starting value. So what goes into the callback? The callback is going to be the current total. And then the second value is going to be the current cart item. So here, what happens is that essentially we are going to say, okay, I want to take the total and I want to add the cart item dot quantity. So now whenever these values accumulate as it traverses through the cart items, we'll finally end up with a new total, which we will then set as the new cart count. So I'm going to say set cart count equal to new cart count. And now I can just add this cart count to my values. And then inside of the cart icon component, I just need to pull it in. And instead of rendering 0, I just render cart count like so. And if we go back, now let's add some items. And there we see we are accurately now keeping track of our cart count. So as you can see, we pretty much now got everything that looks similar to our main Crown Clothing application. Now what I want to challenge you to do is I want you to be able to try and figure out how to build this go to checkout button that takes you to this checkout step. And then inside of here, there is all of these different checkout items. You don't necessarily have to build out this visual component, but what I challenge you to do is try and figure out how to increment the item from this arrow, decrement the item from this arrow, as well as remove an item entirely with that X button. This will really flex every single thing you've learned up until this point with the code. You don't have to do the styling. The main thing is figuring out the composition of the functions, the composition of the functionality, as well as how to build these additional features into your context and your components and link it all together. This is a great challenge, and also to comprise the total value as well. This entire page is actually a great way for you to figure out how to make all of these things that we've learned into one unique feature. So my challenge to you is to try that out. And before you proceed, I also want you to commit your code because we've just added some new functionality. So I want you to git add and then leave a commit message that says what you did. So here we just added in our add to cart feature. And then push it up. And now try and build that checkout page. Once you're finished, come join me and we'll do it together in the next video.